All right, let's dive in. We're talking about one of the hottest topics in tech right now, AI agents. You've probably seen the hype, right? But what does it really take to go from a cool demo to something that actually works in the real world? That's what we're going to unpack today. And check this out. I had to start with this quote from Liam Otley, an AI entrepreneur. He said, "It's pretty safe to say that learning how to build AI agents has completely changed my life." I mean, wow, completely changed my life. That's not a small statement, right? It just shows you the sheer potential we're dealing with here. But okay, let's back up a sec. What is an AI agent anyway? Okay, so this is probably the most important thing to get. Think about a regular chatbot. It tells you stuff. It answers your questions. It can explain things. But an AI agent, it does stuff for you. We're talking about taking real action, like actually sending an email or updating your Salesforce or booking a flight. That's the leap. It's not just talking, it's doing. And that ability to act, that's the whole ballgame.
And that promise, that's why everyone is calling this a revolution in automation. We're moving past those simple, old-school scripts that just follow a fixed path. Now we're stepping into a world of systems that can think and act on their own. So how do they actually pull this off? I love this analogy. Think of yourself as a chef. To cook up an AI agent, you need 3 key ingredients. First up, the LLM, the large language model. That's your brain, right? It's the part that does the thinking and reasoning. Next, you need knowledge. This is your secret sauce, the specific data, the documents, the context you give it. And finally, the most important part for an agent, the tools. These are the knives, the pans, the connections that let the agent actually interact with the world and get things done.
And here's the best part. Your kitchen is already set up and waiting for you. There's been this massive boom in no-code and low-code platforms. What that means is you don't have to be some coding genius to start building. The tools are there. Let's just run through a few of them real quick. I mean, this space is just packed now. You've got platforms like Relevance AI, which are awesome for building custom co-pilots for your team. Then there's stuff like N10, which is all about building these super complex AI-powered workflows. You've got huge players like VoiceFlow, perfect for creating those really sophisticated conversational agents. And then you have open source powerhouses like BotPress, giving developers total control with these slick visual interfaces. The options are just endless. So when you look at these platforms, they make it seem so simple, right? It's like 1, sign up, 2, feed it your data, 3, hit go and let it start taking action. It looks almost deceptively easy. And that's the big question, isn't it? If it's that easy to get started, why isn't every single company on the planet already run by a swarm of AI agents? What's the catch? What happens when you try to take that cool little prototype and actually, run your business on it? Well, this is where the hype train hits a wall. We need a serious dose of reality here. Because the path from a fun prototype to a production-ready system that a business can actually rely on, well, it's a minefield. Because what developers are finding in the real world is a whole host of problems. These agents, they can be super unreliable. They hallucinate, which is just a nice way of saying they make stuff up, and that can bring an entire workflow to a dead stop. The costs to run these things, they can go through the roof fast. And that's before we even get to the huge headaches of governance, security, and just trying to get these things to work at scale. And look, this isn't just a few people complaining. The data is crystal clear. A recent survey asked IT leaders what their biggest challenges were. The number one answer from over half of them was data security and compliance. And right behind that, not enough IT resources, not enough skilled people, and just plain bad data quality. These aren't little bumps in the road. These are giant walls blocking the path to production. Okay, so what do we do? How do we get over those walls? How do you go from a fragile demo to a rock-solid system? The key really is to start thinking less like a tinkerer and more like an engineer. It's about building for the real world. Let's talk about what that actually looks like. This is where the pros separate themselves. You can't just cross your fingers and hope it works. You have to engineer for failure. What does that mean? It means if you know your data is messy, you build a cleaning process right from the start. If an API call to another service fails, you don't just give up. You build in automatic retries. It's all about expecting things to break and having a plan for when they do. And all of this has to be wrapped a thick layer of governance. I'm talking about knowing exactly who owns what data, making sure everyone agrees on what things mean. And this is a big one, always keeping a human in the loop for the really critical decisions. You can't just unleash these agents on your company's most sensitive data and hope for the best. You need strong, clear guardrails. And this all leads to a really interesting idea about where this is all heading. Because the answer to handling all this complexity isn't to just build one single genius super agent. No, the answer is a smarter system for managing everything. The fancy term for this is agentic orchestration, but just think of it like being the conductor of an orchestra. You've got your AI agents, you've got your more traditional software bots, and you've got your human team members. The orchestrator is the one with the baton, making sure every single one of them plays their part at the right time, all working together in harmony to get the job done. And that right there is the big idea. The future isn't about building one HAL 9000 super agent that does everything. It's about building a team, a collaborative team where you have specialized AIs for certain jobs, good old-fashioned automation for the boring, repetitive stuff, and humans providing that critical oversight and judgment. It's all of them working together. So, if you take one thing away from this, let it be this. Getting AI agents to work in the real world isn't just a coding problem. It's an orchestration problem. You have to think bigger than just the agent's brain. You have to think about the whole system, the data pipelines, the tools, the security, the people. So I'll leave you with this question. How are you going to conduct your orchestra?